Okay, the person I'm talking about this morning is Nathan Hale. Nathan Hale was born in Coventry, Connecticut in 1755. In 1773, at just 18 years old, he graduated from Yale University. In 1775, he became a schoolmaster in New London, Connecticut. He taught for several months until he heard about the battles at Lexington and Concord. He knew that he must go and fight for his country. He left to go to war and was selected to be lieutenant of the Connecticut militia in July of 1775 and was promoted to captain of the Continental Army in January of 1776. In May of that year, he led a raid on British troops to collect supplies for the army. George Washington had very little accurate information of the British plans. George Washington asked for volunteers to be a spy, but no one stepped forward. No one wanted to be a spy because a spy back in that time was considered to be a shameful person. Everyone thought that spies were dishonest and untrustworthy. No one respected spies. If you were a spy, it would affect your reputation. If anyone figured out that a person was a spy, they would pay no attention to that person. Lieutenant Thomas Knowlton brought the soldiers back into the tent to convince one of them to be the spy, but no one wanted to. Thomas Knowlton gave up and started to leave the tent when suddenly Nathan Hale walked in. He was late for the meeting because of a fever that he had had for the past few days. When he heard that George Washington needed a spy, he said, "I will be the spy." One of his buddies from school told him not to be the spy. He said, "You will not succeed. Even if you do succeed, your reputation will not be good." But he couldn't make him change his mind. On September 12th, they dropped him off at Long Island in New York City. He disguised himself as a Dutch schoolmaster and for 9 days gathered information. He wrote down notes and put them in his shoe. On September 21st, his cousin Samuel Hale, a loyalist, found out what he was doing and turned him into the British soldiers. They immediately knew he was a spy because of the notes in his shoes and because of him admitting to his mission. British Major Sir William Howe condemned him as spy and ordered him to be hanged the next day. On September 22nd, before they hanged him, they asked him if he would like to say anything. He gave a very long speech to the people that had come to watch his hanging. The British soldiers mocked him and said that he was wasting his life. But Nathan Hale's response was, "I only regret that I have but one life to lose for my country." He was hanged that day, and he never succeeded in his mission. They left his body hanging for a few days to a warning to anyone else who dared to come and spy on them. The notes that he had written were later destroyed after his death. His words inspired others to stay in the war instead of leaving, other Americans to join to be soldiers, and others to actually become spies, and they later won the war. No pictures are left of Nathan Hale, and the location of his remains are unknown. But in 1846, the state of Connecticut placed a monument in the cemetery of his hometown in Coventry, Connecticut.